So let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room when it comes to the HK cc9 and the Taurus Gx4. Let's just do it. Let's do a quick little clear check. Pistol is clear. Pistol is clear. But before we go any further, I must inform you that we are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range, Immokalee Range and Gun Club to be exact. And this video is for educational purposes only. Okay? All right. So the Taurus Gx4, very nice, clean, slick pistol. I can't complain when it comes to this Taurus. It is Toro, so it is optic ready. And the HK cc9, very nice and clean as well. And it is also optic ready. And they're very close. I must say, I'm not going to say that somebody was peeking at somebody's design or anything of the two, because I understand they're two totally different situations, but they are very, very close. Let's look at them side by side. And the pistol on my left, which is this one right here, is the HK cc9, and the pistol on my right is the Taurus Gx4. Now, the Taurus Gx4 does have a 3.38-inch barrel, and the HK has a 3.32-inch barrel. Both of them come in with quite thin slides. HK managed to give you under an inch, so it's 0.99 in width, and the Taurus is probably an inch point something. It's very, a smidget. And I believe if you just look at it, I believe HK was able to manage that 0.099 was because of the rounding of the actual slide of the pistol. And yeah, Taurus has more of a blockier frame, but had they just filed that down just a little bit more, I think they would have accomplished that just as well. All right, so the obvious, let's look at the, and weight. Both of them come in right at 19 ounces, unloaded. But let's just look at them very quickly. The Taurus is a very clean, slick, wide trigger guard, nice serrations in the slide, and we do have a nice, slim grip up here at the top, just to accomplish that nice firm grip. We do have a bladed trigger on here with a white front sight. Really not too much, but you do have a lot of aggression finger pads on here, as well as the aggression in the grip, which for me feels good, and the slide is nice and smooth. All right, so the HK cc9, as you can see, we have a high vis front sight. We do have some serrations in the slide, not as aggressive as the it looks like the HK has larger serrations in the slide. This is also optic ready. It does have very mild memory pads. It's not too aggressive. I wish it was just a little bit more. The Tauruses have quite a bit more of aggression, not just on the grip, but on the memory pads. But HK does give you an accessory rail underneath for you to run whatever it is that you want. But Taurus did not do that. That's not here nor there, and I don't think that's a make or break situation. Now, the slide on this HK is very, very, very heavy. I'm sure as you start working it out, it probably would, work itself out and eventually become a little smoother. But one thing that I do like with the HK cc9 is the finger indentations on the grip. I can appreciate that quite a bit, and it does have a nice shaved out section underneath the trigger guard to try to keep that pretty comfortable. The magazine releases, Taurus is not that pronounced, but HK does have a nice pronounced trigger magazine release, and it is ambidextrous. So you have an ambidextrous magazine release as well as a slide lock, and Taurus is not ambi, and it only has functions on my left side, so the left side of the pistol. So both of them come with two magazines. The Taurus has what I have for the Taurus now is the 11+1. I can't remember what the second one is, but the HK also has two magazines. It gives you a 12 round and a 10 round. So I think they're equally yoked as far as what it is that they're giving you and all that stuff. But how do they compare in the shoots? All right, so we know what we are, we know what we're doing, and the only thing left now to do is what? Suit them up so we can send them downrange. I think this is going to be really, Really good. All right, so we shot the HK last. So let's go in with the Taurus first. Let's watch her, see what she does, how she performs, how she looks. And most definitely the slide is much, much softer on the Taurus. Slide went forward, but that's okay. And we do have a little bit of an extension here with this magazine just to kind of complete that full grip feel. But this little pistol here is nice. All right, let's watch this. Not too much take up on the trigger. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. All right. The reset on the trigger was nice and crisp, not too much take up, and the recoil was not obnoxious. All right, let's go in with the HK cc9. Excuse me. Grip feels good. It's not as tapered as the Taurus, but it also has that nice cradling feeling in the hand when I actually hold it. And that is how she looks, the HK cc9. All right, now look at the take up on this trigger. Very long take up compared to the Taurus. And break. Ooh. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. All right. Between the two, I felt like you obviously heard all my shots on steel with the Taurus, and I missed 2 with the HK. I felt finding my front sight after the shots was a little bit more difficult for me. The recoil did feel a little bit rougher with the HK. All right, so far, how does it look so far? Let's talk about it. Back in with the Taurus Gx4 chambered in 9mm. If I failed to tell you that both of these pistols are chambered in 9mm, and we are shooting blazer ammunition for both of 115 grains. And the Taurus Gx4 Toro is what we got here. Oh, I mean, when I slam the magazine, the slide goes forward. I don't have a problem with it. I guess other people will probably, but I don't have a problem with that happening. All right. Not too much take up. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. All right, Taurus. Very good. Let's go in with the HK cc9, chambered in 9mm. This pistol does feel good. This HK does feel good in the hand. I know I can't drop the slide with my thumb, so I'm not even going to try. And that long take up. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. So, I still feel like my control with the Taurus is better than the HK. Both times, all shots on steel. So I just kind of like gripped my pistol a little tighter and just try to manhandle it just a little bit. Going back in with the Taurus Gx4. see if I put it in slowly. All right, put her in slowly, and this slide didn't go forward. Okay, and I was able to drop the slide with my thumb. That slide release is nice and smooth, and that shot went low. That's how I missed that. Pistol is clear. Magazine is empty. Magazine. Now we're going in with the cc9. I can slam that in all day and it won't drop the slide. But the slide release on here is so tight, I can't. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. All right. So, thus far, what do y'all see? I think I have made my decision on what shoots best, but I have one more magazine. We got one more. This is the last and final magazine for both of these pistols. And, whoa. $300 versus $700. I think it's, you know, and you hate to say you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times you feel that way and you're influenced a little by other people's opinions on what they feel is a cheap firearm. But, hey, don't knock it till you try it. Taurus Gx4, chambered in 9mm. Oh, well, I slammed it that time and it didn't go forward. So, and see that? How simple that was? Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. That was the last magazine for the Taurus Gx4. Now, this is the last magazine for the HK cc9. I don't know. Can't do it. Can't do it. One thing I can tell you, pistol is clear, magazine is empty. They could have did a better job with the trigger on the HK cc9. There's no reason why it should be so much darn travel before you actually get to the wall. That is long. Look at that. See how long that is before you actually break. Let's check the Taurus out. That's it. That's it. Okay. Both of the pistols performed very, very well. Feeling out and remembering what it is that I just did, the Taurus for me felt better in the hand. It almost seems like the Taurus grip might just be a little thicker as far as in the, now I know, well, Yoke, you could have changed the back strap on the HK. These are straight out of the box. This is how it comes. This is what it is. And this is how I am reviewing this for you as far as what you get when you first open your box. So the first impressions on my feel on the Taurus, it feels like it's a beefier, did I just gleek? it feels like it's a beefier feel in the hand versus the HK. The stippling or the actual aggression on the HK is not what I prefer. So it kind of feels like I have to over compensate my grip to actually keep that nice firm grip on the pistol. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm actually having to just hold it just that much tighter to keep my pistol level, to keep my shots on target. Versus the Taurus, the aggression in the slide and the way that it's tapered around the neck of this pistol, it just lays in my hand just right. We already talked about the trigger. For me, the trigger on the Taurus Gx4 is better than on the HK. Let's fight about it. Let's whatever. The functionality of the Taurus is a lot easier. The slide function is easy. The slide drop is easy. So everything on here, especially if it's a beginner pistol shooter, this would be a lot easier for them to manipulate and shoot. I know we're probably not talking about beginners, but we just talking about pistol shooting, period. So when I manipulate this pistol and I feel and I run this pistol, it's a lot easier for me to run versus this HK. As I said, the slide on here is a lot tighter. The slide drop, I can't even drop it with my thumb. I don't know if it's because of the style, but I can appreciate that because that would probably prevent any snagging on the clothes, but the functionality of it just don't work for me. The accessory rail is a plus for the HK. Should Taurus have done it? Yeah, they should have done it. Probably just giving you a 1 slot, whatever. But if you want to talk about the cosmetic side of it, okay, we got a front white dot front sight on this, and we got a high vis front sight on here. But all in all, both of them have serrated rear sights. Y'all, give me the Taurus any day over this HK cc9. I said it. Let's argue. But do I feel like the HK is just a Taurus Gx4? No, I don't feel like it's just a Taurus Gx4. Do I feel like Taurus did it better? Yeah, I feel like Taurus did it better. So if one, in my opinion, is better than the other, it's not just a Taurus Gx4. It fell short from the Taurus Gx4, in my opinion, in functionality, in shoot, in looks, in feels. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it's not a bad looking pistol, and I think it's not what y'all would say not bad looking because it's so what's the word that I'm looking for? It's clean. There's no sharp edges on here. Everything is very clean and smooth. So yeah, it is a very nice looking firearm. It is. And if you look at the Taurus, all right, the Taurus might be just a little bit blockier, but had they just taken these sides down just a little bit, it would have looked the same. It would have looked the same, but that blockiness is who Taurus is, and don't change, just like I would tell anybody else. So, what did y'all think? What did y'all see? How do you feel about what it is that I just said? Jump into the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's agree to disagree. Tell me what your points are. I'll tell you what my points are. You will probably say, oh, well, Taurus has failed and Taurus has had this and HK battle test and they test for years and years and years. Well, guess what? Out of all of my range days with my Taurus Gx4, I have not had a failure with this pistol yet. My HK cc9, I've had a failure to eject, and I've also had a sticking trigger. So, do they need to go back to the drawing board and battle test for 2 more years? I don't know. So, with that being said, listen, if you are available, if you're in town, or you can just come down anyway. Meet me at Miami Guns and Range, April 27. We are going to have the 2nd annual meet and greet customer appreciation. Come out, hang with me. Let's have us a good time. We're going to have food. We're going to have music. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have giveaways. And we are having tax free as a customer appreciation. So head out there, come join me. And I love it when things work. Both of these work, but I love y'all for life.